Hello.
Hi.
Look where we are. We're back
inside.
where we started.
Yep,
This is where we did
absolutely.
our first messy church together on this
Seems
sofa.
a long time ago now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, but nice to be back on the
And
sofa.
no Roxy this morning.
She's missing.
No Roxy.
I think she's outside in the sun, actually.
She might be. We
Yeah.
did think about doing it outside, but we are allowed inside now. So
And
we
it makes it a bit
decided-
easier, doesn't it?
It does, because we haven't got quite so much noise.
No.
Quite
true.
so much noise going on, but it's
Absolutely.
lovely, lovely weather. And
It's
we
gorgeous.
will sit outside afterwards
Absolutely.
when we talk about what we've done.
Yeah.
So, we're going to talk about Jesus' friends today,
Yes,
because Jesus
absolutely.
did have lots of friends, didn't
Absolutely. And we've got a really messy craft.
he? Okay. Tell you what then, let's get on with our craft, shall we?
Okay. Going to do a sunflower.
Brilliant.
So, we're doing sunflowers, but it's really not the sunflowers we're going to use. It's our hands, and I thought for you something really, really messy. So we're going to do flowers making hands
Brilliant.
for all our friends. So you could get other people to do it, but in this case it's you and me together, and we're going to make a lovely flower together.
So it hasn't got to be sunflowers, it could be anything.
Anything really, just using your hands.
Excellent. So our hands together like friends together.
Yep, absolutely.
Excellent.
So just a
And we can't hold hands or touch hands
No.
or shake hands at the moment, but we can do printing together.
So yeah, so we've got paint,
Wonderful. And I've got some yellow.
and we're
So-
going to stick our hands in them.
Are you
So-
going to do red and I'm going to do yellow?
Yeah.
Yay! Right, I'm going in, Anne. I'm going in. And nose. I'm going to
It
move
is-
that there, I think.
Yeah,
'cause that's,
that's the lid.
getting stuck.
You might just want to shake a bit off as well.
You
So-
might.
Okay, I know that was me. We've got a nice big bit of paper here, so I'm going to put one there.
Okay. Right, I'm going to put one there.
I'm going to put one there then.
Right, I'm going to have to come your side now, and I'm going to have to put one there.
Oh, I'm going to have to overlap slightly so you can get another one in there.
Okay. Actually,
Okay.
do you know what would be really good? This is starting to look like a sunflower, isn't it?
Yep.
And my hands are bigger, and there is more yellow in a sunflower. So I'm going to go over your reds.
Okay.
I'm going to go like that. Maybe you could go over my yellows. Yay! I'm loving this. Look at my hand.
She's getting very excited.
Okay. I think this is starting to look amazing,
I'm
Anne,
going to go
don't
out a little
you?
bit there,
I'm going to put one there.
and maybe one there.
I'm going to go
There we are.
there, 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 there. Does that look like a sunflower?
It looks lovely.
That's just our hands. Can I have some kitchen roll, Anne? Look. Thank you. She knows I will. She knows I will. Right, so
But we've got some of these really...
I found these. They're brilliant, aren't they?
So-
Bingo dabbers, these are. But you could use anything to fill in the middle. You could use... I've got some green paint here. You could do that as well. Couldn't you? It's a dab of fun.
That was fun.
Right, hang on. I'm going to do some dabbing as well. Get out of the way.
She's so good.
And dabbers are good, aren't they?
There we are.
They are good. So,
A lovely sunflower made with our hands.
with our hands. And look, I think Anne's hand is dirtier than my hands.
There you go.
But I do love our sunflowers. But do you know what I might do, Anne, if it's all right with
Yeah.
you? I might just go like that. And then like that. There we go. Just to say it's on a stalk. What do you
That's
think?
wonderful.
Do you like it?
Absolutely.
Right then, so a sunflower picture, and it could have been anything, made with hands, because hands together
Yeah.
represent friendship and togetherness.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. So come on then, Anne, tell us this story. All about Jesus making friends.
Yeah. So Jesus grew up around Lake Galilee.
Yeah, we knew that. I think we did, yes.
Large and most beautiful lake. And what do you find on lakes?
Fish, fishing boats.
Fishing boats.
Fish in lakes, fishing boats on lakes.
Yeah. And who looks after the fishing boats?
Fishermen.
Fishermen. So the first people that Jesus called...
Because it would have been fishermen then.
It would have been fishermen. I mean,
Yeah.
there would have been women.
Fishing people.
Fishing people. There may well have been women, but it would have been the men who looked after the boats. Women probably looked after the catch. They probably did things with the fish.
Yeah, because back then men and women had very specific roles
Absolutely,
in Jesus'
yeah.
time. So we do think of them as fishermen, don't
Yeah.
we?
There would have been women, and the women may well have been mending nets as well and looking after those sort of things. So there would have been, it would have been a hive of activity. And one day Jesus walks along the shore of Galilee.
Like you would.
Like you would, because that's your home and you go for a walk. And he saw some fishermen there. And he looks at them and he asks them how they did when they were out fishing.
What, you mean how many fish did they
Yeah.
catch or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that's the sort of conversation you'd have, isn't it? Think of when you go out and you see fishermen, it's the sort of thing, good catch today?
Did you catch
Yeah.
anything? What have you got?
Yeah.
So he asked these people who were fishing how it was last night. And they went, hey, wasn't very good.
Rubbish.
Absolutely
Rubbish
right.
catch.
And Jesus says to them, why don't you go out a little further away from shore?
But they didn't know Jesus. Anne.
No. And you can imagine how well that went down,
Yeah,
couldn't
and
you?
Jesus wasn't a fisherman, so why would you take advice from Jesus?
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
But Jesus encourages them to. And they decide, well, what have we got to lose? We haven't got much. Let's do it. So they go out. And Jesus says, cast your nets here. And they do. And guess what happens?
I can guess they had a massive catch.
Absolutely. More fish than they've ever caught in one go. That's amazing, really, isn't
And
it?
that, I
Yeah.
guess, if somebody that you didn't know suggested you did that and you did it and it worked, you'd be impressed, wouldn't you?
You would. Absolutely. And in fact, by the time they got back, they had so many people had to come and help them get the nets off the
Wow.
boats. So much.
Wow.
And then Jesus says to this fisherman, come with me and I will make you a fisher of men.
So no longer a fisherman out at sea
No.
catching fish to feed other people,
No.
but somebody who was going to go out with Jesus and make more disciples
Absolutely.
of people.
Yeah, make more followers. The fisherman's name was Peter, and Peter looks at Jesus and he thinks, wow, this man who knew nothing about fishing has just made me get this wonderful catch. There must be something really special about him.
So the first friend that Jesus made was called Peter.
Absolutely.
And we hear lots of stories about Peter, don't we, as
Yeah.
we go through the Bible. And
Yeah.
Peter does really become, I say, the head disciple. I guess he did, didn't he?
He did
became-
really, yeah.
So
absolutely.
the first friend Jesus made
Yep.
was a fisherman
fisherman
who
called
gave
Peter.
up fishing
Yep.
to follow Jesus,
Yep.
and he became the top disciple. Really.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we know who Peter is now. That's good. First friend,
Yeah,
first disciple.
First friend, and there were others. So Peter goes and talks to his friends, his family, and then there comes Andrew and John, sons of Zebedee.
Sons of Zebedee.
Yeah,
Yes, we like that
Yeah.
name, don't we?
And then there are others, and we know lots about a few. So we know a story about Thomas, for instance. We know that Matthew was a tax collector.
And we know Judas. I mean, he made
We
friends
do.
with Judas, and Judas was the
Absolutely.
one that would have let Jesus betrayed him down
Yeah, absolutely.
at Easter.
Yeah.
But he had 12 really good friends,
Absolutely,
didn't he?
yes. And some of them we don't know as much about. There's Philip and Nathaniel, and there's Matthias. So there are other people, but we hear a lot about Peter and Andrew and John. They're often called the closest friends of him. And as I say, Matthew the tax collector and Thomas who doubted. So lots of them. But
And Matthias, who replaced Judas,
yeah,
didn't he?
absolutely.
But friends are so important, and Jesus needed friends as well, because I think Jesus realised he couldn't do everything on his
No.
own, and he knew he was only around for a few years, and he had to really tell these people everything about God's amazing kingdom and what God wanted for his family on earth. And friends are so important in our
Friends
lives,
are very
aren't
important.
they?
But we tend to end up with a close knit band of friends, don't we? But there's always one or two who are the most important friends, our bestest friends.
Do you know, looking at our sunflower picture, I guess your bestest friends would be here, and then all these extra people that you know and you like, maybe your friends at school and things, but there'll always be those few people that you know you can trust completely. And these friends, especially Peter, was Jesus's very, very close friends, and he needed these people to help him, but also to carry on the work and to carry on spreading God's message when Jesus did eventually go back to his Father in heaven.
Yeah, and it was really wonderful. And they formed this very tight group.
And they learned from Jesus, didn't they?
They travelled around and they learned from each other.
Yeah.
And Jesus trusted them enough, actually, in the end. He sent them out as well. Without him,
Yes,
they would go and do his work. So, yeah.
And some of the stories that we hear over what Jesus did over the next couple of months, so as we move forward with Messy Church for the rest of June and July, we'll start to hear about some of the things that Jesus did. And often the disciples, those close friends, are involved in that, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what song are we going to do this week?
I think we were going to do...
I think we're going to say something...
Jesus' love, isn't it?
Very wonderful.
It is, yes, because all his disciples and those that chose to give up their jobs and their livelihood and chose to follow Jesus would have done it because they knew that Jesus loved them and that he wouldn't let them down.
That's very wonderful. Absolutely. So are we going to stand up or sit down?
What should we do? I think we're going to have to stand up for this
so
one.
high.
Yes,
Can't get over it.
Yes,
so low.
we are.
Can't get round it.
We'll have to stand.
We will.
Okay, let's get ready to sing.
Okay. So the song is Jesus' Love is Very Wonderful. It's quite simple. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful.
Oh, wonderful love. Right, so Jesus' love is very wonderful. That'll do for that.
Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Oh,
wonderful love. Wonderful love. Yes, we'll do that. So high you can't get over it. So low you can't get under it. So wide you can't get round of it. Oh, wonderful love. Okay. So we'll sing it through, and then I'll do what I always like to do on this song, and we'll go really fast. Okay. So, Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Oh, wonderful love. Ready? So high you can't get over it. So low you can't get under it. So wide you can't get round it. Oh, wonderful love. Brilliant! Do you know, this is one of our favourites. We have about 5 or 6 songs that we love to do, and I think this is definitely one of them. And by now, we've done this one quite a lot during lockdown, so I reckon you know it. So, ready?
Okay.
Fast, really fast. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Jesus' love is very wonderful. Oh, wonderful love. So high you can't get over it. So low you can't get under it. So wide you can't get round it. Oh, wonderful love. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Oh, wonderful love. I think that's what I used to do in Messy Church. Oh, wonderful love.
I was a bit worried about you hitting me. Shall we pray as we stand?
Oh, we better have. Now, don't forget that we are in the middle of G7, and I'm sure you all know what's happening around that and our environment. So if it's okay with you, Anne, especially as we have this beautiful picture that looks a little bit like a bit of God's creation, can I pray, and can I pray especially for everything that's happening in Cornwall at the moment? So
from friends around the world.
Friends around the world, yes. So let's just pray for what's going on at the moment. Dear God, we thank you for all those people who really, really care about your environment. For those who know that for the damage we cause, we can affect lives from all over the world. That when we are selfish with what we have, other people will suffer because of that. So help us to think of the lives of people from all over the world. And at this time, when we're all learning a little bit more about G7, that it is on our doorstep. Help us to pray for those who are making these big decisions on our behalf. And we give thanks for your amazing creation, not just for sunflowers of friendship, but for everything, especially for our friends and those who share our lives. And a nice big Amen. Wonderful. So we're doing the 10 lepers next time.
Yes, we are. Yep.
We're going to tell the story of Jesus and the healing of the 10 lepers and what happened when that happened.
Yeah.
So we'll look into
Forward
that.
to that, yeah.
We can discuss that in a bit more detail.
Okay.
See you all then. Bye everyone.